family but not by DNA. Dave and Adam are two of a kind, and they wanna borrow some of your day to talk into your ear holes about midi-chlorians and roller coasters. Those two things are unrelated, but so are they. They're unrelated at birth, like most people who aren't related. Unrelated at birth, but they're brothers in a brotherly way. Now it's time for the phenomenal brother and the golden voice of the South. They're brothers from different mothers, but they're both really proud to be unrelated at birth. Brothers but not by birth, family but not by DNA. Dave and Adam are two of a kind, and they wanna borrow some of your day to talk into your ear holes about midi-chlorians and roller coasters. Those two things are unrelated, but so are they. They're unrelated at birth, like most people who aren't related. Unrelated at birth, but they're brothers in a brotherly way. Now it's time for the phenomenal brother and the golden voice of the South. They're brothers from different mothers, but they're both really proud to be unrelated at birth.
Are you going to get us blocked right at the start?
We're live.
We're live.
I'm listening. I'm jamming to Karate Kid music.
Universal
man.
Music Group has flagged your video for containing music from Le Karate Kid.
That's
Part
Karate
Kid.
Kid. No, that was two.
That was two? No.
That was the Glory of Love, man. Peter Cetera.
Yeah, I know the song and I know the guy, but the movie, sorry.
Do you know what group Peter Cetera used to sing with?
Foreigner?
No.
Boston? Chicago? Which one?
Chicago.
Eventually I'll get to it. 29 or 6-4.
It's 25 or 6-4.
Just giving you a hard time. You look so crestfallen. You're like, it's 25 or 6-4.
Come on. I love Chicago, and you should know this. Okay.
I like Chicago.
Okay.
Saturday in the Park?
Saturday in the park. Like the 4th of July.
I never thought about being the background music for your songs, Dave. That's a new take.
See, there you go. You can now be the background brother.
The human accompanying trumpet.
Yeah. 20 seconds. Jeffrey Martin, 20-second delay tonight, folks. It's getting worse. Our Facebook is really worried about your salty language.
They're giving themselves time to ban us when Dave brings music into the mix. That's what it is.
I mean, I can start singing for the glory of love. I said Cetera.
He says Satira.
It's Cetera. It's Peter Cetera.
All right, hang on. Let's see. How to pronounce Peter Cetera.
Is it Cetera or Satira? Now I'm
right, wait,
questioning.
hang on, wait. Once I get past the ad, I can pull up a pronunciation off YouTube. All right, wait, here we go. I'm going to share.
Okay.
This is riveting stuff, ladies and gentlemen. We are bringing you live.
This is before we do our recording. So,
all right, ready?
Yeah.
pronouncenames.com.
Peter Satura.
What?
Satura.
Satura. So it's not Satira nor
Satara.
Is it Satara? It's Satura. Peter Satura.
Satura.
So can we go ahead and do what's in your cup so I can enjoy my hot coffee?
Sure, we can do that.
Is that to show you something?
So, in my cup is Weller Antique.
Again?
No, actually, this is Weller 12.
What was it they used to do on the old Rocky and Boogie? Again.
No, so Weller Antique is meh. This is about $100 a bottle, and I actually traded. So I sold a lawnmower, one of my lawnmowers, a couple weeks ago.
Okay, and instead of buying a new lawnmower, you bought.
No, I had two.
Oh, you had to. Okay.
Yeah. So I sold a lawnmower, and I was asking $550 for it, and he said, "Well, would you take $350 and a bottle of Weller 12?" I said, "Yes, I would."
That's good because I wouldn't want. Was it a riding lawnmower?
Yeah, it was. It was.
Yeah,
I
wouldn't want to see him with a bottle in one hand driving the riding lawnmower on the other.
No. By the way, Carrie's here. I'm here. I would love some respect put on Bama basketball's name from two haters, please. We're not haters. We're just fogs.
I mean, show me something. And this year they're showing something. So.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So what's in my cup? You're going to love this. Ready?
Wait, did you set it with your... What
this is a pour over. So you put the coffee in here in a filter. You pour the hot water right here, and it makes a freshly brewed pour over. And the Krispy Kreme mug that turns red when the coffee is hot.
You mean
so the coffee is hot now. Get it?
You're not using your...
I wanted to show off my Krispy Kreme mug.
Yeah, but you could be using your Eno or
my Ember. I could be setting my temperature
with your phone
that I never touch.
Oh, dear Lord.
Jab.
Oh.
I have voice commands because I'm like, hey, Siri, please set my Ember to 310 degrees.
130 degrees.
What is it? Carousel of Progress?
Yeah.
Setting temperature to 500 degrees. And all of a sudden the Ember catches on fire.
Yeah. By the way,
technology these days.
So before we start recording,
yes,
we've got to send out our thoughts and prayers. 2021 might be starting off hot. Dr. Dre is in an LA hospital with a brain aneurysm. If 2021 takes out the good doctor before he can release his next album, I'm
life,
done.
Man. That's
I
life,
know,
dude.
I know. But it's just
I don't know that I could tell you one Dr. Dre song, to be honest.
Yes, you could. Forgot about Dre. Oh, and Kim Ye are getting divorced.
Well, yeah, I mean, I can't imagine her family was going to put up with that for too much longer.
Yeah. Well, that's sad.
That's a business transaction, primarily.
Yeah, I know. Well, all right. So what are we going to talk about tonight, Adam?
We are going to talk about... Oh, and my mom says pour-overs are the best. Next to K-cups that you make in things in a Keurig coffee makers that aren't actually Keurig coffee makers. Those are actually the best kind of coffee. But it has to not be really a Keurig coffee maker in the box. That's the trick to good coffee.
Going back, how do you pronounce etc.?
Etc. Not et cetera.
I say etc.
Not etc. There's no K in it.
I say etc.
Don't say etc.
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 Not etc.
It's etc.
The faster you say it, you're adding and removing letters all at the same time.
Yeah. Oh, Carrie says that's what a failed presidential run will do to you. Get you divorced. I mean,
we'll see. We'll see. There may be another one of those then.
No.
Move on to the topic. Move on to the topic.
No. We are staying out of politics. No.
We actually specifically talked about that too, and I brought it up. Can you believe that, Dave? Dadgummit.
Etc. Etc. Etc.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So what are we talking about, Adam, and why?
So does Carrie say it? Et cetera? Et cetera? Et cetera? No way. No way does anybody pronounce etc. Et cetera. No way.
Etc.
Et cetera.
Etc. I don't know. Anyway, all right. What are we talking about, Adam?
Walt, the man, the myth, the legend.
We're gonna have
Right?
we're gonna have a Walt to remember. No.
Did you notice anything different behind me?
You have Mando.
Yeah, 3
Oh, yeah.
pictures. So I wanted you would appreciate this, Dave, if I can point in the right direction. This is a Bear Bryant poster made the year I was born.
Yeah.
This is a Mission Space limited poster that was made the year I joined Disney, and this is the very first my souvenir from our very first Comic-Con we did together. As a podcast.
And
so
then
all
the world
three of
shuts
these
down.
mean something to me.
And then the world shuts down.
Oh, exactly. Can we get a whole episode of Adam explains pronunciations?
I mean,
etc. Etc. You're drawing it out too long. That's phonetical. Etc. Etc. Is it fat? Etc. Etc.
Etc.
Oh, anyway. I think we
Okay.
should talk Walt, and I want to talk Soul for a minute.
Okay, we can do that.
I haven't caught up on Mando yet, so I'll talk a movie with you at least.
You hadn't caught up on Mando. You hadn't caught up on Cobra Kai.
I'm not watching Cobra Kai.
Oh, you need to.
I'm not into this, like, hey, let's make a show about something they liked when they were kids. They'll love it. I wasn't
It's
crazy about
good.
Karate Kid to begin with. He won by doing exactly what they said in the rules not to do.
It's no. It's an above the belt. Anything above the belt is legal. Anything above the belt is legal. He kicked above the belt.
And Sid Bream was safe, Dave.
Oh, Sid Bream was safe. I'll give you that now.
Okay, good.
But we could do a whole show on this.
I do have one story for you. You saw a preview of it earlier because this is a visual story before we get into the podcast.
Okay,
I have a beef with Zebco.
I don't even know who Zebco is.
My dad has used the same Zebco fishing reels.
Okay.
Has used the same Zebco 33 for as long as I can remember. And I've had this happen on 2 of them in the last year and a half.
Etc. Etc.
Literally, I'm sitting there reeling and I feel it start to wobble. And I'm like, that's weird. So I try to tighten the screw on the other side. Wobble, baby, wobble, right? And then all of a sudden, I'm like reeling it in and it comes off twice. This has happened.
So did you get the fish?
Well, it happened just on a normal cast. That's the thing. I wasn't even fighting a fish. So maybe I'm like pulling too hard. I don't know. Anyway.
All right. So Jeffrey, we're going to make this whole pre-show about etc. Jeffrey says, I think phonetically it would be et cetera.
Yeah, etc. Yeah,
etc. Etc.
Not etc. and not etc. Etc.
Matthew Scudrich is actually watching us. I thought he just joined the group to make fun of us all.
Well, he's making fun of me right now.
Oh, well, okay.
My better reels? Okay, yeah. Sure.
I mean,
yeah, because I guarantee you an Abu Garcia is not going to do this, right?
what's
Or
Abu Garcia?
Shakespeare. I don't know. I'm just naming brands that I see. I don't know.
I don't even know any fishing
But
reels.
I've never had a problem with fishing reels until the last 2 Zebcos. So anyway.
Well, then,
But evidently we have a fishing expert in our audience. So we need to have a fishing episode and have Matt on and give his review of the best reel that's out there. I think that'd be good.
I mean, his profile picture is him wrestling a gator.
Gatorland. I love it.
That's awesome with his
I
kids.
love it.
That's great.
Oh, Shimano. See? Okay. I can respect a Shimano reel, but
I have no idea. You're speaking Greek to me. Y'all
really?
y'all
Fishing
just
and numismatism are like
y'all just
outside of your league?
Yeah.
What are you playing?
What do you think I'm playing?
NBA.
This is an Xbox 360 controller.
Okay.
So
They made NBA games back then.
yeah, but what did I buy the Xbox 360 to play?
NCAA.
Right. All right, your dad, real quick. What was Walt's first cartoon business? He was a cartoonist for the Kansas City Star. And, well, his first, okay, technically, if you want to be technical, his first one was drawing cartoons for a barber shop that he put in, that the barber barber guy put in the window of the barber shop, right?
Right? Am I right?
Oh no. Actually, if you want to
Okay.
get even worse than that, or before that, didn't his aunt pay him for a drawing from the book that?
Technically, the first thing he ever drew was on the side of his house.
Yes, but that wasn't a
If you want to
business.
go all the way back, hey, you know what? Could be pro bono. So I like this. I'm gonna have to try the Shimano DC because it's evidently so easy. Dave can use it. So,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they started Laugh-O-Gram.
sounds familiar. Where have I heard that before?
I don't know.
Laugh-O-Gram.
I know somebody that
Surely that's not trademarked by anybody.
It is by somebody in Nashville.
Huh. Wow.
Maybe I do a podcast for the Laugh-O-Gram Studios.
At least we came up with our own name. Anyway, maybe we should change our name to Etc. the podcast.
All right, we've been doing this live for 15 minutes talking about nothing.
Which is exactly what our podcast is, a show
and
about nothing.
And etc. And
Yep.
do you realize we're both wearing Bama gear?
Oh, yeah.
We didn't plan this, folks.
Heisman Trophy. You got to rep it.
I'm repping the very first Heisman Trophy to Alabama.
That's right.
And
That's a Derrick Henry.
but no. Really?
Yeah.
Mark
Derrick Henry.
Ingram. Derrick Ingram or 2. This is double deuce. I'm done with you. I'm done.
Derrick Henry plays for who?
The Titans.
And what number does he wear?
He wears 22 for the Titans. I do have
It's a joke, man. It's a joke.
I do have my Titans jersey.
That's like when I made my post about I wonder who's going to win the Heiswoman trophy tonight. I made that joke in the Rick and Bubba Tubers page for all the people that watch on YouTube. And someone literally commented, other things in life are more important.
Are you kidding me?
So I have to say this really quick. Ready Player 2 is an excellent book. Read the first one first or it won't make sense. But Ready Player 2 is excellent. And one of the things it talks about in there is that our ape brains, and I use that in air quotes, but our human brains, we're not meant to interact with thousands of people a day like we do on social media. And so therefore it brings out the worst in humanity. And I entirely agree. What is this? It's so good, man.
Like I said, I just finished
It's so good.
my 31 hours of my Walt book.
You can read it faster than that.
But I can't do it while I work.
That's true. Well, you could. Theoretically.
I mean, theoretically.
Put down the TikTok and pick up a book.
This is in my office, too.
Exactly. And look at all the books behind you. Have you read all of those books behind you, Dave? I didn't know you were a Bears fan. Is that a Bears helmet?
I can't grab it.
Is that a secret passage? Pull one of them and see if it opens up.
Doesn't work. All right. So we're going to have ourselves a Walt to remember.
Let's do it.
And we're not going to talk about. You want to know what you can do while you Carrie? I'm scared.
Work. Oh no, he's going to say whistle. $10. He says whistle. There it is.
Yeah.
I win the money. I won the money.
The money. The money.
Only money.
Okay. Anyway, so we're going to have ourselves a Walt to remember tonight.
I love having episode 1 references that only we get in the moment.
But see, that's the thing. Our core people will get that.
That's true. That is true.
So, all right. 3, 2, 1. And welcome everybody into another exciting first of the year edition, unrelated at birth. My name is, as always, the one, the only, the golden voice of the South, the human jukebox, Dave Adams, coming to you from the top of the state of Alabama. That's right, in Madison, Alabama, in the Unrelated at Birth podcast studios. And as always, I have brought along my friend from the House of Mouse, from St. Cloud, from Lake Buena Vista, from Lakeland, from I've lost my places, Adam.
Oh, man.
Oh no! the phenomenal.
Just call me.
Adam
Just call me Florida man, dude. Jeez.
Okay.
How are you, sir? I have a question for you at the top of the show. Can I ask you a question?
Okay.
Last week we talked about finding a way to close on your end. Did you come up with something?
No.
So we're going to be winging it?
Well, we're just going to
I'm going to spend the whole show in anticipation of how this goes. It's so exciting.
Yeah. I'm just going to let you finish it.
Really?
Yeah. Why not?
Wow. Hey, you know what?
I mean, look, I'll be completely honest with you people out there. You people. What do you mean, you people? I'll be completely honest with you people out there in podcast land. This week's show almost didn't happen. And it took Adam to talk me into it just because.
I'm sorry.
Thanks. It's your fault, Adam. It's your fault. No, I don't know what it is, whether it's winter, dull, or what. I wasn't feeling myself today. But, as the day went on, finished my Walt Disney book, played some Xbox, worked, spent time with my kids, I was ready to go. So
good.
You have Adam to thank you for this week's show.
You're welcome, everybody. So, as always, you've got the one, the only from the top of state of Alabama, Eeyore.
Oh, bother.
Is my tail still there? Yes, it is, David. We're glad to have you.
Yay! And I have Weller 12 tonight, so I'm even happier.
You know what? And one less lawnmower to worry about. So, hey.
Exactly.
Great day all around.
See, if you were on our Facebook Live, you would have heard that story.
Instead, you're wondering what the heck we're talking about.
If you're not on our Facebook Live, what's wrong with you? Every Tuesday night at 8:30, 5-ish, whenever Adam can get his kids in bed, we we join you on Facebook Live. But real quick, big day for Alabama tonight.
Yeah.
Or Tuesday night.
In two ways.
Yeah. Beat Florida, which they're not ranked, but coming off of a high, losing or after beating Tennessee, awesome.
Yep.
And then Alabama now has its third Heisman Trophy winner in 11 years. You know what's funny?
What's funny?
At some schools in the state,
yeah,
when they have 3 Heisman Trophy winners, they put statues of their Heisman Trophy winners out in the front.
Really?
Of their stadium. Because they only have 2 national championships to hang their hat on.
Is that UAB?
No, it's a little further south.
Oh, South Alabama?
Yeah, a little further north.
Jack State?
Okay. Down on the plains.
Oh, Auburn. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, down on the plains. So, Auburn, you could hang 3 Heismans on us all the day. Now, what do you got?
Yeah. It only took us 11 years to do what it took.
I know, right? 11 years and 1 coach. Oh, that's nice. Nice. Brad Toon here says, $10, Dave steals Adam's line to end the podcast again.
He gets in a rhythm. I mean, it just happens sometimes.
I think a good close for Dave each week would be to end with a famous quote or a quote that fits the week. That's a great idea, Kerry.
So the challenge for you this week, Dave, is to do the show.
Yeah.
And not have any way that anyone would know that you're doing this in the background. But you need to find an appropriate Walt Disney quote to close the show with.
Oh, I've got it.
Without missing a beat.
Okay. I'm good with that.
Okay.
And Jeffrey Martin, if I'm going to have 2 fingers of whiskey, I want them to be Andre Giant's fingers. Tonight was about three fingers of whiskey, but I'm not going to lie.
It was a Weller 36 tonight.
Yeah, pretty much. Anywho, so Walt Disney. I just finished I can't remember the guy's name. Neal Gruber. It's whoever did the Walt Disney biography. I just finished it. You've read it.
Yeah.
It's eye-opening because what we see as Walt Disney, what we think we see and what we know of as Walt Disney is not Walt Disney the man at all. To me, we'll start with what I thought was sad first.
Okay.
The guy who every child knows who he is and has made every childhood's fantasy. wasn't that big of a family man.
Yeah.
He had 2 daughters.
Yeah, he did.
One adopted, one biological, and he spent most of his time at the shop. And even when he made the trains in his backyard, he was with his trains and not his family.
Remind you of a certain generation?
A whole lot.
I mean, well, the working was, I mean, that was common.
Right.
For that generation, that time period, especially when you think of all the things that he was doing between, it's not just a movie studio, it's a movie studio and a theme park and Imagineering, which is a whole other business model in and of itself.
Right.
But I mean, it's really, I mean, if you think about it, those trains are not that different from a lot of people chasing video games and collectibles and all that kind of stuff. I'm not saying anything. I'm not, no, listen, let me finish. I'm not saying that anybody here makes it waste time with their family or that their priorities are out of line, but there are a lot of people out there like that who can take it to a point where it's more destructive and doesn't actually, provide anything beneficial to them. Others use it more responsibly as an outlet. So, and I think that's what most of us fall, but it's not that different.
It's very funny that we'd be talking about this first thing off the bat.
Yeah.
Because y'all challenged me to find a quote. And the very first quote I come up with from Walt Disney, a man should never neglect his family for business.
Yeah.
But Walt did just that.
Well, I don't think he neglected his family, though. His family didn't want for anything. His family didn't.
No, they didn't want for anything. But did Diane and Sharon? Yeah. Did Diane and Sharon have a male role model in their life that they saw how he reacted to Lillian their entire life, and that's what they looked for in men? I don't think so.
I mean, with the time he spent, I don't think they would have seen it as much as if he had been home all that time. But at the same time, I don't think that he was absent. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see that.
And again, it was different back then. I mean, it was a different mentality. And I think that this year brings it into a stark relief for us, because if we weren't at home working remotely, spending an inordinate amount of time with our families compared to other years, a lot of us might read that book and be like, oh, okay, so he worked a lot. Yeah. I have a long commute, or I have a long work day or something like that, or I drive a truck. That's just like me. But now so many of us are remote that it's like, wow, he was never at home.
Yeah.
I don't remember what that was like,
Lucky man. No, but no, so it is interesting to look at it that way. Jeffrey Martin asks, but in that time, was it not more thing for a man to provide for his family, which unfortunately meant less time with the family? Agreed. I agree with that. Yeah. But then we get into the later part of his life. He had his nurse at Walt Disney Entertainment or WDI, whatever it was, WDE.
Wet Enterprises, yeah.
Yeah. He had his nurse that was his go-to person. Like, he would quit the day and then go have a whiskey water or whatever, scotch and water in the nurse's office and just sit there and talk to her for hours. Yeah. That should have been the job that Lillian did.
Sure.
So it bothers me a little bit that this man that I grew up idolizing, not going to grew up, but since I've become such a huge Disney fan, but that I've idolized, for lack of a better term, might not be the man that I thought he was.
Well, in that one regard, I mean, but it's always, they always say that the milkman's family always runs out of milk, and the baker's family always runs out of bread, because they're so focused on providing milk and bread to everybody else. Yeah, probably a little bit of that is true there. The guy who's doing things for all of this family is so focused on making memories for other families that he put more time than we in this day and age think is pertinent into his work. But back then it was probably par for the course. It's a completely different time.
And so starting off, though, it blows my mind how a man who didn't even finish high school created so many things.
Yeah.
I mean, he's credited with the first real good full-length animation, Snow White.
Which they thought would drive people crazy.
Right.
They called it Walt's Folly when it first came out, because they thought people would literally go insane watching a cartoon for that long.
But it's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's awesome.
Yeah.
And then he created a whole new camera a whole new system to shoot the animation for that. And then we see later on in life, he creates a whole new way of listening to a movie for Fantasia. And then when he gets into Disneyland, he creates basically the whole 1960 World's Fair.
Yeah.
So he's an artist, he's a director, and an inventor.
Well, and go ahead. Sorry.
And he didn't even finish high school.
Well, and if he would have actually lived a little bit longer, and I'm glad that things worked out the way they did. Not I'm glad he died when he did, but I'm glad things worked out the way they did. He would have been a city planner too.
Yeah, but see, I still don't think Epcot would have worked the way he wanted it.
Oh, I don't know that it would have worked, but it would have been built. I mean, he would not have said no. Well, that's not what he was known for. Yeah. So it would have happened. But the one thing about Epcot that I think is so fascinating is that you see how he wanted all of the underground roads to be where the 18-wheelers and the heavy traffic and the haulers and stuff like that were. And now you got Elon Musk basically talking about the same thing. And he's a visionary. And it's like, dude, I mean, Walt Disney just didn't really have the technology to pull that off. And I don't think it would have worked in Florida just because the water table is so low. You would have had to build that, kind of like the Utilidor at Magic Kingdom is actually the first floor. It's above ground, but it's under the Magic Kingdom. Yeah.
I still have to find a way to get into the Utilidor.
Keys to the Kingdom tour, man.
I know.
Absolutely worth it. Absolutely worth it. But it that would have been the one thing that I think would have been really interesting, particularly a lot of places around here. When you head out to Polk County, when you head out to Lakeland, you head out to Davenport, there's a lot of warehouses and a lot of factories and things like that. And you have a lot of 18-wheeler traffic on some of these roads. And especially in some of the rural areas where those warehouses and stuff are. So it would have been fascinating just to see how that would have changed things.
Yeah, it is. It would have been great. The other thing too is, and I hate how people have romanticized Walt Disney's legacy with the company. We're going to get into some stuff here, and I want to preface this by saying this is my opinion and Adam's opinion. He does not speak for the company.
I don't know where you're going with this, Dave. You're making me nervous.
Well, no, it's there are some people that we know, that look at what is going on with Walt Disney World and as a company, with Walt Disney Corporation right now, and say Walt would have never done it this way. Mm-hmm. Firing people because times are rough and blah, blah, blah. Adam, I just got done reading this book, and he fired people just because he wanted to.
That's what you did back then, though.
But then he would rehire them. But still, this whole Walt would have found a way to do things differently. No, he wouldn't. Walt would have spent the money, and Roy would have made him fire these people.
Well, and that's one of the things, though, is the reason that Walt had the ability to do that was it was a different time. Again, the same kind of thing. It was back, 50, 60 years ago, completely different than it was, or 60, 70 years ago, completely different, even mentality around work and firing and stuff like that. It's just what happened. Right. But the thing that Walt did is there's no other company out there that has, and there probably are some, but there's none that have such a prominent program to identify their legends, like the Disney legends that are out there. And what Walt did, and it's actually 2 books I would recommend to anybody, is Dream It, Do It by Marty Sklar, and Building a Company, which is a lesser known book, but it's about Roy's contributions. It's from his viewpoint completely. It's actually a really, really fascinating book called Building a Company. And what Walt did was he had the right people around him.
Yep.
If you think about the 9 Old Men and Marty Sklar and Roy and all the names, Ex Atencio, and all of those names of people that were around him, he had the talent brought in. And that's what ends up happening today that causes some of the stuff that your friends and everybody else likes to rail about, is when you get that big. And I've always said it about the Central Florida area, and I'm not talking about any cast member in specific. I'm just saying mathematically, when there are 500,000 people in the Orlando area and you hire 60, 70, 80,000 people in that one area alone, you're taking 10 to 20% of the workforce into one shot. If the population of an area just follows a bell curve in terms of performance, and you hire 20% of that bell curve, you're going to get mostly average, a few really good ones, and some off the tail. And that makes you average in all. But the thing that Disney expects more, and that expectation is what pulls them up. But we don't have the privilege anymore of being a small one-man shop in the middle of Burbank where we can hire the Exitencio and hire these three guys to do the voices of the Happy Haunts. And, you can't cherry pick anymore because it's so big now.
Right.
And that lends to being average. And we expect more and we get more out of our people. And that's really what I think the difference is at the end of the day. But Walt surrounded himself very specifically with people that made the stuff great. I mean, I think about, let me say this really quick. I think about Marty Sklar and the fact that this dude, if you think about any contribution to any of the theme parks that was as just, I don't want to say life-changing, but as significant as this. Marty Sklar walks in and they had a model for a futuristic theme park and they had a model for a World's Fair. And he was like, why don't we just do them together? And he pushes the two models together and Epcot was born, man. These people were sitting in rooms dreaming up Epcot, for Pete's sake. And we have Galaxy's Edge and all that kind of stuff now, but it's a much larger group of people that have to pull that off because it's just bigger to do now,
So my first point is you and I both are wearing crimson right now.
Yeah, we are.
Which means that we are huge fans of Nick Saban.
Sure.
It's the same thing that Nick Saban does. He hires people that he knows know more than he does.
Yeah.
And he sometimes to a fault, he trusts them to do things that he knows that he might not know how to do.
Yeah.
And so he knows that when things are going great, it's their responsibility. When things are going bad, it's on him.
Sure. Yeah.
So the other thing that blew my mind, and you talked about this, it took 3 years to do 2 rides and a land at Galaxy's Edge on both parks, right?
Yeah.
It took 2 years to do all of Disneyland.
Yeah.
It blows my mind at the technology they didn't have.
Yeah.
At how quickly they were able to get things done.
Well, but that's what makes me laugh now is God bless all of the people that, whether it's a hobby or a career, that follow Disney World and Disneyland very closely and have blogs and YouTube channels. It is a lot of work to do all of that, and more power to you guys for that. But imagine if 1955 was 2021 and a new land opens at Disney World and women's heels are sinking into the pavement. The water fountains don't work. People are jumping over the fence because they have faked tickets. Imagine if that happened today.
Oh,
Walt would have done it. No, Walt wouldn't have done it differently. That happened when he was opening Disneyland.
Right.
Sometimes there's bumps along the way. Sometimes there's things that happen that aren't ideal. And when you're inside and you're working through those things, you can actually see what's being done to fix it. It's like when you're building a house or a Publix, right? The outside of the Publix gets done. They hang up the sign. 3 months later, it's still not open. What the heck are they doing in there? Well, they're laying the floor. They're putting up the shelves. They're stocking the shelves. They're printing the prices. They're getting the pharmaceutical department set up. And all of that's happening, but you don't see it. Right. Wow, they're just really slow at opening Publix. The founder of Publix would have not done it that way because you don't see everything going on the inside to make it better. But all of these voices, I mean, the true sense of it, and we had this conversation before, David, I'm not trying to dog anybody out, but the true sense right now is nobody listens to a positive take anymore. They want to hear the hot take. They want to hear the hot thing. But those people would have had a fit when Disneyland opened.
Oh, I agree. I agree.
It wasn't perfect then. It's not perfect now. It will never be perfect because Walt himself said it is in a constant state of becoming, and it always will be.
I mean, they only had, and I'm sitting here trying to think and try to remember. They only had, I think, like 3 or 4 rides.
I don't know the answer to that question.
They didn't have Haunted Mansion. They didn't have Big Thunder. They didn't have Space Mountain. They didn't have any of the 1960s stuff.
Let's see. So here are the 13 opening day attractions that are still there. The Railroad, the Cinema, Autopia, the Carousel, Mr. Toad, Peter Pan, Mad Tea Party, Snow White, Casey Jr., Mark Twain Riverboat, the Storybook Land boats, Jungle Cruise, and the Golden Horseshoe.
Okay.
Well, I mean, there's not a Space Mountain in there.
No, there's not.
Or Big Thunder Mountain,
And there's no e-ticket item there. And what's funny is you had to pay to get on all of these rides.
Yeah.
And which blows my mind. I mean, that
the ticket book, yeah.
we're sitting here whining about fast passes not being around right now, and people had to actually pay to get into the ride. I mean,
Yeah.
Now, granted, it was, I think, $20 gets you entry and a book of tickets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But still, $20 then is probably what, 100 something now?
Mm-hmm.
Easily.
Yeah. And look at what the ticket prices are.
No, I know. And now you can get it. Now you can get it. Here's your plug. Now you can get it to Disney World for $50 a day on a 4-day pass.
That's right.
Where's all the praise for that? Because there's been plenty of negativity. Oh, wait. Sorry. We are positive. The power of positivity tonight, y'all. Wow. We just got our preacher's bucks.
Yeah, we did.
Anyway, I do think that there is. We need to put Walt Disney on a pedestal, but it does not need to be as high a pedestal as most people have put him on,
or as high of a pedestal
at all.
The pedestal.
That's what I said.
Pedestal. Oh,
pedestal.
Welcome
you go,
to the of the podcast.
There you go, Brad. You got your
I did that for him. Yes.
I know. But I do think that he deserves praise because of what he did and how he started and how he basically didn't take no for an answer.
Yeah.
But I think we need to look more at the people, like you were saying earlier, the people around Walt and praise them, because the way we look at it now is Walt Disney is the one that created everything. Yeah. Actually, no. Walt Disney is the one with the ideas, but everyone else had the creative arm. I think Roy doesn't get near the recognition that he deserves.
I agree.
So the other thing too that blew my mind, and I know I'm jumping around at this, but this book just totally blew my mind. They made Sleeping Beauty's castle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sleeping Beauty hadn't even come out yet.
Yeah.
I think Sleeping Beauty came out in 58, but they made the opening of Disneyland was 55.
They knew.
They knew because it had been in production forever. Cinderella was actually out already. So why did Disney World get Cinderella's and not another princess?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Do you think they might have been trying to do synergy even way back then?
Maybe. It's highly possible. Yeah, because I'll tell you, if you think about the people, you talk about the people that he had around him. Just one more point on that.
Yeah. Is
that the Sherman Brothers, all of these people, and it was a tight-knit group, and they wrote Mary Poppins and some of the attraction stuff. Like, it was the same people producing multiple aspects of it.
Yep.
And one thing a lot of people talk about with today's Disney is Star Wars. And I think it's a fairly good lesson to learn there. Is that Marvel, the way that they pulled off the whole MCU trajectory was almost a masterclass in continuity and storytelling, right? Because everything tied in, everything wrapped up completely in the end. Starting from Iron Man, they realized what they had, they put a plan together, they executed it. And then you look at Star Wars, and they have different directors and different writers, and they didn't really have a plan, and it became disjointed. The fans are divided between, is it great or is it not great, And I think that if you look at it, when you get, again, to the size where Star Wars is one thing and Muppets is owned and run by another, and Avengers and the Marvel stuff is one, ABC television group is over here, Disney Plus is over there, it gets to that point where it's kind of crazy. And I think that's honestly why Bob Iger stayed on to be over creative, because you almost have to have at least one common thread.
Yeah.
And I think that's what Walt's original organization proved, is that when the same people are writing the stuff, the quality stays consistent.
Yep.
When you deviate and fluctuate, it gets a lot harder. And I think that's why he wanted to keep his fingers in it a little bit. But I think that's the biggest thing to learn from his organization then is, man, it is absolutely crazy to go to Disneyland. And I know you talked about, I saw your post where you want to go and all of that. When you walk through Disneyland, the thing that's crazy is when you ride the Haunted Mansion, it's not a re-recording and it's not anything that's been changed. When you go and you see Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln, that's the actual recording in the actual place where the actual state locale where they recorded it. They had no idea when they recorded that what they were doing.
Oh, I know.
No
In fact,
idea whatsoever what they were doing. They were making it up as they went along and did what they thought was the right thing, and we're still going.
Lincoln
all
was a
these years
failure.
later. Yeah.
Lincoln was a failure at the 1960s World Fair.
I mean, people were amazed at that was this a real man and everything, but he had technical problems and he leaked hydraulic fluid and they picked the wrong color. And so it looked like he was bleeding. It's just insane, man, you know, of what they went through to get there. But I mean, when you go there and you ride Jungle Cruise, or you go and you look at the bench that they have, that's the actual one that he sat on when he thought of Disneyland. It's just like, man, it's a good thing this worked out, dude.
I know. There were so many times that it, you know, a butterfly flapped his wings and we hawken, you know, that, you know, throw back to one of our earlier episodes.
Of course,
that they could have bankrupt Disney.
Yeah.
The company, because if Snow White hadn't have been the success, they're done.
Yeah.
If you know, some movie didn't work, they're done. If ABC hadn't have said, all right, yeah, we're going to go with Walt for Uncle Walt, they're done.
Exactly.
If Bank of America hadn't given them a shot, they're done.
Yeah. Sometimes all you need is just one person, one bank, one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted, you know. But you're not going to go with that?
You get one shot to not lose your chance.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I do. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. So your dad brings up a point that he wants to make. The people around him and closest to him are the very ones that put him high on the pedestal. Actually, I disagree. Reading the book, and has your dad read the book, the biography that you know of?
I don't know.
Okay. Walt made that edict that it was not, you know, Marty Sklar's blah, 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 or whatever. It was always Walt Disney. Mm-hmm. Walt Disney didn't know how to draw Mickey Mouse. That was Iwerks.
Yeah.
In fact, they were talking about at a party where Walt and Ub were there. You know, whenever Walt was signing his autograph, he'd have to draw Mickey Mouse. He'd sign his name and say, draw Mickey for me.
Yeah, but I think his point though, and I'll go the opposite way, not just because it's my dad, but when you watch documentaries about the 9 old men, when you watch and you hear Marty talk, it's always Walt. Yes, it's always Walt's thing, but they talk about him with a reverence, like players from the 70s and 60s talk about the bear. It's the same kind of thing where if you were there, you knew you were capturing lightning in a bottle, and you could put up with this kind of mini tyrant that he tended to be sometimes, like when he wouldn't even talk to Roy for weeks at a time and made his secretary go back and forth in between them. You know? Like when that kind of stuff happened, everybody put up with it because they knew what they were doing. And in the end, he was right. I mean, you got to think about it. To your point about having one opportunity, you went from being bankrupt and having Universal buy out the only character you'd created and coming back on that train with nothing, to now this company that he started, that everyone believes in what he wanted to do so much that it's maintained and grown to the point where our biggest competitor here in town owns lands. Who's getting royalty for the Simpsons right now? Who's getting royalties for the Avengers area, or the Marvel area now?
Marvel Island.
And it's like little by little, it's even to now where even our competitors have to pay us money. It's just like to go from, you were broke, dude. He was broke. He had nothing. Laugh-O-Gram failed. And to go from that, and now you turn it around. It's just, if you can set a culture, yes, you're going to have times where you've got to lay down the law, and you're going to be the one who says the final say, and it is my thing, and that is all there is to it. But there was something else there. There was definitely something else there because it's lasted this long.
Yeah, I agree. And I do think it's funny, though, that they went at its beginning, Disney needed Universal to be their distributor.
Yes.
And now we flipped it where Universal is paying Disney.
Yeah.
I know it was two different companies back then, but it's still, it's very funny to look at it that way, the way the circle of life works.
Absolutely. To well, and when you talk about perception too, I think one of the biggest things, we talked this earlier today, one of the biggest things I think that Walt did in terms of perception was it didn't really matter what anybody inside the company thought, because he knew television was a key. And by having the Disneyland show actually raise money in a way and get notoriety for Disneyland before it even opened, everybody got excited about it. but Walt was in your living room telling you about this place. And then you got to go see the place that he told you about when television was brand spanking new. And I think that was probably the move that did the most for it at the end of the day. Because if it was this little place being built in the middle of some orange groves and it stayed really quiet and nothing was coming out and no updates, and then one day it was open, I don't think it would have nearly been as successful as if you had him talking about it and, oh my gosh, I get to see it from the ground up and you feel like you're a part of it. I think that was probably the one thing that he did that made more of a difference than anything else.
Oh,
It's changed the public's perception of him and how they thought of him, you know.
And now, too, along with the Disneyland show, think of the people he had with him in the studio, too. The Sherman Brothers. You've already talked about them. Yeah. How many songs have your kids sung, or my kids, or you by the Sherman Brothers? Yeah. And you didn't even know who they were at the time.
Exactly.
Think about this. Born on a mountaintop in Tennessee, greenest state in the land of the free. Davy Crockett wasn't even supposed to be on TV.
Yeah.
And they just threw that song together in like a minute.
Sure.
And now coonskin hats are everywhere.
Yeah. Well, and I'll tell you too, you talk about the people closest to him. When I was over there for the 60th, they had, I can't remember if it was Richard or Robert. I think it was Richard. They had him come up and he told the story about how he would be writing a song and figuring out some chords, and Walt would be sitting in the corner listening, kind of giving him feedback. And Walt would turn and stare out the window and get kind of this look on his face, and he would tell him, hey, play it. And he would play him Feed the Birds.
Yep.
And so he played Feed the Birds in front of the castle on the 60th of Disneyland, telling that story.
Oh.
But it's for all of that time, Richard Sherman carried that with him, you know, and it meant something to him. And so I think, you know, like I said, for us now, it's easy to say, to your point, Walt Disney. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Walt Disney, like the TV show, right? But to them, he was Walt who just yelled at me 5 minutes ago.
Right, exactly.
You know, and your boss is never really romanticized in that way. But again, they knew they had something. So
yeah. And yes, I understand he did do the TV show strictly to raise capital to build the park.
Yes.
We understand that. But he knew to go to TV. He knew that was the next medium to jump to.
And I think raising capital was the intention, but raising awareness and excitement was a side effect of that really, really drove some of the initial popularity. So
right.
That's a great point though about the capital. That is true.
And even that was a gamble, because at that time, no movie theater or no movie production company would work with TV because they didn't know how it would steal from the movies. They didn't know if it would steal from people going to movies. Now, granted, it is now, but
yeah. Who could have ever foreseen the consolidation of everything around streaming services, right?
Yeah, I know, right? That's crazy.
Yeah, man.
But anyway, so that's just a quick synopsis. We could go on for a whole 4 hours about Walt Disney.
I really could.
And his life. But we don't need to get into a rut here. Adam, what did you do during the Christmas holiday there? Because I know you took some time with your family.
I did, yeah. We hung out here, watched movies, played the board games we got, did the Lego sets we got for Christmas and stuff. That Choose Your Own Adventure board game is really fun. The one I mentioned, I think it was the last show.
Yeah, it was.
It actually is really super cool.
All right, so how did that go?
It actually went really well. Like every card is a page out of a Choose Your Own Adventure book, but you have item cards that are in your inventory, and you can choose any time to use them. And there's this thing in the game called a danger level, where as you make certain choices, the danger level either goes up or goes down. And exactly. And so you can use some of your items to reduce the danger level, because basically whatever the danger level is set at, you have to roll that on the dice to win and succeed. And so you can use your items, and you have to all strategize together and figure out where to go. And so we did chapter 1, and it took about an hour.
Did it really?
Chapter, yeah. But it's really, really cool. Oh, and I got Mandalorian Trouble. You know, the game Trouble with the little thing that pops in the middle. Yeah. My parents got me the Mandalorian version of that. We played that. Aiden got a Minecraft Lego set. Emma's got these little things she makes jelly bracelets out of and stuff. So it's been good.
You still haven't watched Mando.
We're working on it. I'm watching it with the kids. We're on episode 4 of season 1. We just finished it. So we're going to do 5 tomorrow. By next week, we'll be all the way through. So
you're going to watch 18 episodes by next week.
Yeah.
16 episodes, actually.
16. I'm sorry. Yeah, because we already did half of season 1. So we're going to double up on a couple of days, and we're going to get through season 2 by next week. So That's
I
the
want
plan.
to know. I really need to know your reaction. In fact, I think you need to live stream when you watch episode or chapter 16.
Okay.
And don't focus on the TV. Just have the camera focused on you.
Oh, so I focus on the TV. The camera focuses on me.
Yes,
Okay.
I think we need a live stream of your reaction at the end of chapter 18 or 16.
Okay.
I think that'd be awesome. Anyway, so
Can I say really quick though?
yeah, go
One
for
thing
it.
I did not do this Christmas season is watch Elf. I've made it through another year. How long can Adam make it without being forced to watch Elf?
When are we going to do it for our patrons?
It's going to have to be next Christmas. You can't watch a Christmas movie when it's not Christmas unless it's Die Hard, because that's not a Christmas movie.
It is. So, Jeffrey, FYI, just switched to my TV to the YouTube feed. About a 5-second delay. Guess I'm dual watching through YouTube from now on.
Jeffrey, I need stats on what the delay is for all the ways we stream, and I need you to come back and let me know what all the delays are so that we can get this stored up, man.
So we're on Periscope, YouTube, and Facebook. Those are the 3 streaming. We could do Twitch again if we had a moderator.
I think we're foregoing Twitch, man.
So I went to the beach and I didn't even step foot on the beach once.
Really?
Not once.
How did you manage that?
I stayed away. I went to the gym while my family decided to go for the walk on the beach. I went and spent some time on the elliptical machine and just had fun. I went for a drive, drove over to Florida, went bourbon hunting, had a very successful bourbon hunting trip.
Nice.
Got me some Eagle Rare, some double oaked Woodford Reserve, and
Double
some
oaked.
double oaked. I'll tell you, it was the first time I'd ever had it. It tastes just like Blanton's.
Really?
I will try to bring you some. Here you go, Jeffrey Martin. Actually, the 5-second delay is on my phone. The TV is now ahead of my ability to post a message. How is that possible?
Pretty soon he's going to find a way where he hears what we say before we say it.
It's like that Kyler Murray, Tim Tebow commercial.
Yeah. I'm working on my anticipation.
You might want to get that at your mom. Hey, Miss T. But anyway, so watched the Bama game there. Went to the Alabama Gulf Coast Zoo.
Meh.
Yeah. There's no elephants, so it's not truly a zoo. Carly said, "Where did you stay on the beach?"
Oh, Carly, he stayed off the beach. That's the whole point.
Yeah. We were at the Phoenix West. Normally, we go to my parents' condo at Beach Club in Fort Morgan, but thanks to hurricane, I don't know, whichever hurricane it was in June, the Beach Club is under renovations. So we stayed at the Phoenix West, and it was fun. Let's see, Jeffrey Martin, Bama. Did I get that right?
Yeah.
Sure. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. Anyway, but yeah, so had some bourbon hunting, had some fun.
So instead of walking on the beach with the breeze and the sunset, and I'm going to the gym. Really?
Yeah, I don't like sand. No, I don't like sand. It's coarse and it's rough and it gets everywhere. Need I remind you what happened last time I was on the sand?
No, the last time your truck was on sand.
I'm trying to find the picture. The last time I was in Gulf Shores, let's see, where is it?
Scrolling.
Keep them phones scrolling. Here we go, scrolling. Rick and Bubba, for those of you who are. Oh wait, here we go. There we go. So the last time I was on the beach, that's my truck.
That is
in the sand.
That ain't my truck, like the country music song.
Yeah. Jeffrey Martin, it was referencing being able to hear you before you said something. I see what you did there. I mean, yes, Carly, if you want to pay the renter's fee for the condo, sure, go for it. I don't care.
Renter's fee.
Yes, we
have
to
on Verbo or something.
It's on. I forget what it's on, but I can post a link.
Renter's fee, please.
I mean, I still have to pay for the. I still have to pay for the cleaning crew.
Really?
Yeah.
Man.
I mean, it's not like Indian Beep.
That is true. That is nothing's like Indian Beep.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, Carly, I know my family loves you, but you'd still have to rent it. They'd probably give you a discount. Just
probably. I'm not feeling the love right now, man. They'd probably give you a discount off the renter's fee.
You did have to deal with me in high school, so they'd probably
and they take sympathy on you then.
And college. So, all right, Adam, as we're wrapping up, didn't you have a New Year's message that you wanted to give?
Oh, Dave.
To everybody?
Do you really want me to go there? So let me. What? Are you pulling a book off the shelf to read it because you want me to go there? All right, I've shared this kind of message once before, and certain people who are in our audience right now know I'm not referring to them if I say this, so I have to say that. But I was watching Soul and listening to some stories that people were telling me, and the part in Soul, this isn't too bad of a spoiler, where he kind of makes amends with his mom, right? Yeah. Towards the end, and it made me realize, watching what he was going through in that movie with his mom and some of the stories I've heard about parents and stuff like that from other people recently, the generation before us needs to let us make our mistakes and let us be who we are. And I think there's a larger lesson there that we all pretty much just need to let everybody be who they are. And I'm not talking about in a biblical, which kind of lifestyle is correct or anything like that. I'm just talking in general terms. We, like I mentioned earlier with social media, we have too many opinions about everything that everybody does. And if it's me and Dave and we're joking over text, that's one thing, right? But if it's somebody you love and trust and care about, and they're constantly on you about everything you decide to do and things you say, and if you decide to move somewhere or do something like that, it gets really old. So quit. Quit. When I say be kind to one another, so this week when I say be kind to one another, I kind of posted something referring to this on the page the other day. When I say be kind to one another, that is specifically aimed at the generation before us, excluding certain people in our audience right now, who just need to chill a little bit. Let people make mistakes, guide them as you want to, give them good advice. But when you have an opinion about something that is inconsequential, shut it. I'm done. Be positive now, Dave. Bring the positivity back.
Why should I worry? Why should I care?
Oh, Oliver and Company.
Yeah, there you go.
Nice. I've never seen that. I just know the music.
What?
No, maybe that's what we should do for a Patreon thing.
You've never seen Oliver and Co?
Mm-mm.
Dude. And you you love Billy Joel. It's all about Billy
Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy. Yeah, it is crazy. Maybe we should watch Karate Kid too. Like have an 80s and 90s day.
Okay. I might be able to do that.
Oh, come on, dude. How can you not like Karate Kid?
Because I don't think the last kick was legal, man.
It was. It was above the waist. Anything above the waist is legal.
Okay.
Oh, the crane.
I'm Googling Daniel cheated Karate Kid right now so I can make my true case when the time comes.
Danielson.
Oh, Karate Kid's dirty secret. Daniel cheated to win the All Valley tournament.
And so let's really quick. Why is San Francisco so just focused on karate? I mean,
is that where that was set, San Francisco?
Yeah, the All Valley tournament. Who cares about karate? I don't remember karate gangs in high school. Do you?
Look, Carly Adams, stop judging. I'm merely reading an article that says that's the dirty secret. It
wasn't a dirty kick. It was
They listed Daniel as a black belt, even though he'd been a student for 2 months and he wasn't one. Let's see what else. He stole a black belt and gave it to Allie to pass on to Daniel. Daniel had just turned 18, and the tournament was an under 18 competition. Oh, dear Lord. I mean, I can keep going.
It was a 1984 movie. Come on.
It came out around the time of Iron Eagle, for Pete's sake.
I know, right? Hallelujah. Holy, pass the Tylenol.
That's the time. Where's the Tylenol?
All right, guys. Well, that'll
Can
do
I
it.
say too? Speaking of that, I saw a lot of people making Jelly of the Month Club memes about the $600 when it first came out. Now that the checks are rolling out, I don't see anybody complaining anymore. Now that the money's actually hitting the bank account, you know what I'm saying? Now you can go buy yourself something real
being
nice.
political.
I'm not being political. I'm just saying, gift horse in the mouth, and the horse comes up to your house, and you really get a horse. And you're like, oh, okay, I'll take the horse.
Jeffrey Martin and How I Met Your Mother, Barney talked about Johnny as if he were the underdog. That is one of the greatest underlying themes of that whole show. It is great. Oh, you've never seen How I Met Your Mother either, have you? I forget. When you come home, the TV stays off.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Anyway, so Adam, if they have a hot take, what do they do to get into the Unrelated at Birth podcast?
Well, it depends. If you're a previous generation, your hot take is about something we're doing, shut it. If it's not, sorry. Call 650-UAB show. Spell it out on your keypad. Not yet, Dave. Spell it out on your keypad. There will be a brief message followed by a beep. There you go. Thank you. Leave a message for us. 100% of the time we will play it. Actually, we say that, and then we have a Virgil ask a question that we didn't play.
Oh, we'll do it here in a minute.
All right, we'll do it in a minute. Yeah. So anyway, 650-UAB show. Give us a call. Leave us a message. We'll play it. We'll discuss your take on the show, or you can share your take with us on the socials. Dave, how do they do that?
I am at DAdams419 on Twitter and Instagram. He is at Runtide Run on Instagram. The show on Twitter at Not Related Bros. At Facebook and Instagram, just Unrelated at Birth. Also join our Facebook fan group, Unrelated at Birth Facebook group, something like that. Listener group. Yeah. Also, patreon.com/Unrelated at Birth. $5 a month. Hey, our friend found us from the WDW couple. Awesome.
Woot, woot.
Thank you. We love Josh and Taylor, even though I do think Taylor is giving me the stiff arm every now and then. Whenever we get to hang out with him, Josh gets to come hang out,
or be on the show.
But Taylor has
still commented from the corner. It's like, just come on the show for Pete's sake.
Love Josh and Taylor anyway. But patreon.com/Unrelated at Birth. $5 a month. Anything you put, any cent we get from Patreon goes right back into this show. None of it goes to our pockets, I promise you. Also, just guys, thank you. You allow us to be us, and that's what we need. I needed this. This is therapy for me. So thank y'all. All right, Adam. What does your dad? Huh?
What's that? Well, the beauty of it is, Dave. I'll say this while I'm pulling up the Virgil asked a question. The beauty of it is that people allow us to be us, and we allow them to be them. And we all talk about stuff that we geek out about that maybe we don't have an opportunity to talk about anywhere else. Maybe we do, but that's the beauty of what we are doing here.
Yep.
And if I could spell on my phone, I would be able to find Google Voice. All right, here we go.
Okay.
So this week's Virgil asked a question.
Can't hear it.
I'm working on it. There we go.
I have this week's question for you. Since the 1870s, nearly every typewriter keyboard was called a QWERTY keyboard due to the 6 keys in the upper left portion of the keyboard. A professor from the University of Washington and his brother-in-law thought the QWERTY arrangement was destructive to the art of typing. So on May the 12th, 1936, they released their new arrangement to the world. With little or no promotion to change and only a modest 5% improvement in typing skill, the idea was never adopted. My question is, what was this new arrangement called? Thanks, guys. Look forward to the next podcast. Bye.
So I don't know the name of it, but I'm just going to say, guess, was it the ABC arrangement? Just how?
I don't think it was ABC. No, it's like it's some letters moved around, but I know that like it was like RSTLNE, almost like Wheel of Fortune, right? We're where your hands sit instead of ASDFJKL semicolon. So it's an arrangement like that. No, there were numbers, weren't all across the top. And it was basically the most used ones you don't have to move your fingers very far for, was the whole idea. And it was called the Dvorak system.
Dvorak.
But I have to say, can you imagine if there were accepted different ways of typing?
I mean, there's
Mass
already
chaos, dogs and cats living together. You know, I just can't imagine if there were like multiple accepted ways.
There's that split keyboard.
Oh, I love those things where they split it right, like your hands sit off to the side. I actually like those ergonomic keyboards.
And then there's peck and type.
But they all use QWERTY. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
Jokester, you big jokester.
All right, guys. Well, that's it. We say it every week. We love y'all. You allow us to spend an hour or so with you every Tuesday or Wednesday. I will leave you with this. 2 quotes from the great Walt Disney. Why worry? If you've done the very best you can, then worrying won't make it any better. And then finally, our greatest natural resource is the minds of our children. Walt Disney.
Very nice, Dave.
Adam, take them home.
Very nice. My favorite Walt Disney quote, and this kind of goes back to what I said before. The way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. And that's what all of us need to do, is stop talking at one another, get to loving each other, get to living life. That's what soul was about. We were going to talk a little more soul, but get to living your life. Quit talking about it. Whatever it is that you want to do, go out there and do it. Be safe. Be kind to one another. And we love you, but not as much as Jesus does. And we will catch you next week.
Boo, 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 brother, but not by birth. Family, but not by DNA.
So who would that be? If that was who was singing our theme song, who would that be? Who's that? Who's falsetto like that?
Dolly Parton.
Dolly Parton.
Have you seen the meme? It's on TikTok. You don't watch it. But the guy says, all right, guys, I got my Moderna vaccination. And then all of a sudden he starts. A cup of ambition. What was that? And then a couple days later, Jolene, holy crap. And then 3 days later, they show him in an all like blonde wig and he's got boxes.
Yeah.
Because, Dolly Parton helped make the Moderna vaccination.
Oh, really?
And so they're saying a side effect is to act like Dolly Parton.
Nice. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, earlier, Brad said, sadly, but this is good. Start of the second period, USA is up 2-0 against Canada.
Yes.
In the World Juniors Hockey Gold Medal game.
Beat you in hockey and cases, you big bunch of nothing up in Canada. Let's see you guys get to 20 million people infected.
I say the loser of that has to take Justin Bieber. I'm not going to. Yeah.
Oh, but only because you're only saying that because we're up right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Your dad said, mystery word here. Paradigm?
Paradigms, Dave. That's 3 things I've had to pronounce for you.
Paradigm. Paradigm. That's the whole show. Adam, like that should be our shtick. I should throw in some just random words. Dave, no, Dave.
No, that works perfectly. On Sideline Warning, there was a running joke about pronunciation names and like people's names and stuff like that. There could be the same thing with just words here.
Yeah.
Mystery word here, paradigms.
I don't get it.
Oh. My dad's post on Facebook. I went all nerd of like, oh, that's a West Point silver proof and a reverse proof from Philadelphia. And it was paradigms. And Jeffrey Martin guy, he said 20 cents. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the worst dad joke ever.
Carly says, remember bourbon. Dave never forgets bourbon. What
are you talking about, Carly? I mean, okay.
Did that come across on the mic?
Yeah, it did.
Oh, good times. Good times.
Hey, did you know that 10 plus 10 and 11 plus 11 are the same thing?
How so?
What's 10 plus 10?
20.
What's 11 plus 11?
22.
Yes!
Oh man.
Maths. Come on. That's the best dad joke out there. You know that. That's one of the best.
Sure it is. Of course it is. Of
You're
course
just,
it is.
You're just mad that you didn't come up with it.
I am very mad. I'm mad I didn't get the paradigms thing. I'm a numismatist after all.
Numismatism.
Numismatism.
All right. So yeah, I think that's about what we got.
Is it?
I don't know. What else you want to talk about on the post show?
I did like Soul. We never really dove into that. I was worried at first.
I was too.
When it did the whole it looked like it switched to storyboards when he was falling down the hole, and I was like, what? And then when all the Terrys started showing up, I was like, what? Or Jerry's or whatever they were.
Jerry's were the big things. Terry was the counter.
Yeah. I like Terry. And a trophy that you asked for. That was funny. Yeah. I appreciate that was a pretty good movie.
It was. I say that it was better. I put it up there in their top 5.
Yeah. I think it falls in line with me a lot with Ratatouille because it was a story built around a love letter to food. Soul was a story built around a love letter to jazz.
And I love jazz. So
I tell you, when the part I was worried about the most, and I'm not going to spoil anything, I'm just going to say, when the ship showed up with the little dude with the hair and Graham Norton starts talking, I was really worried. I was like, what is going on here? And then they actually made sense. I was like, okay.
I get why Graham Norton's there.
Yep. So, my mom asked Soul. That's the new Pixar movie that's on Disney Plus.
Come on, Kathy, you're a Disney Disney lady. You should
a Disney
know
guy.
I'm sorry, a woman.
Yes. So Josh says we brought home the Heisman, the Heiswoman trophy. Heiswoman.
A man and a woman.
I'm thankful that we don't have the consecutive letters MAN in our podcast anywhere.
I kind of want to, just so we can do
the Hugh Woman jukebox. That's you. The Hugh Woman jukebox.
No, I'm a man. I can be that. So I am a Hugh man.
You can't use the word, man.
Fine. So note to the producer: if you name this show anything but a Walt to Remember, I'm going to be a little upset because this was a great title that I came up with.
A note to Dave: don't say that because now you know what I'm going to do.
I know. But you know I can go in and change it, right? Because I have the same Podbean password.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's futile. Vanity. All of it's vanity.
Okay, you're not Solomon in writing Ecclesiastes over here.
Wow, look at you, man. Strong on the Bible knowledge.
I mean, I did go to Westminster Christian Academy.
WCA?
All the way?
Cats everywhere.
No, we didn't do the Wildcat Prowl.
Yeah, you did.
No, we didn't.
You did something like it. You guys were all in music and theater and in a private school.
Hey.
There you go, see?
Oh, wait. No. Although, I will say with pride, I was the voice of the Wildcats.
Really?
I was.
Not yet the golden voice of the Wildcats, though. That took some time.
No, I wasn't golden yet. But I had a banner hanging up in the gym, and because we had a little Pirates crow's nest thing where I did all the announcing and everything. And I had right above my little crow's nest, Dave's Den, the voice of the Wildcats.
Did you print that by yourself or did they make it for you?
I did not. The cheerleaders did.
Oh, look at you.
I mean, what can I say?
He has highlights like Dawson.
I did have highlights back there. I had blonde hair.
Yeah.
There you go.
So the sun didn't do that?
That was Sun In.
Oh, that was Sun In?
Yeah. That was
Blair's brother tried to do that one time with just hydrogen peroxide.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he put hydrogen peroxide on his hair and he sat outside in the sun and it never changed color and he didn't know why at the time. Because it's not hydrogen peroxide that you use.
Right.
Sun in like Dave.
Use sun in. I might go back to
sun in to just for men, man. That's where you
what
are
if,
just
what
for
if
women.
what if I went back to blonde hair but kept the brown beard?
You would look like you're trying to do a NSYNC reunion.
It's gonna be May.
Which, by the way, Fatone's going to be down here.
He lives there.
In a week and a half with one of the guys from Impractical Jokers up at Top Golf.
He lives there.
I know, but I'm saying he's doing like a meet and greet, like a socially distanced meet and greet.
So, like, I could be across the room from, hi, Joey.
No, you stand there and do this, and they stand behind you and do this, and then you take a picture. Uh-oh. Already? Usually wait until we're done.
No. I'm getting something.
What are you getting? Now I'm nervous. This is riveting. I can't wait to see what it is. It's an NSYNC Funko Pop.
Oh, I can't.
Oh, my Lord. Well, they nailed the hair, that's for sure.
Oh, Joey fell.
Is that Fatone with the red hair right there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's JC.
Wow.
It's gonna be May. All that I do.
How do they not have no strings attached versions of NSYNC Funko Pops?
Yes, please.
See? I know what you like, Dave Adams.
I know
what you like.
But I'll tell you more than that. I still want a Roy Disney with Cinderella's castle.
Just wait. Just wait.
You don't know that.
Just wait. You never know.
Okay,
how about this? How about a true Funko Pop of the partner statue and a true Funko Pop of Roy sitting on the bench with Minnie?
Now that would be cool too.
You never know. I love the Greek statue in the corner with Christmas.
Oh no!
The what?
Carly Malden.
Yes, that is Michelangelo's David in the corner with the Christmas hat on. That's a stormtrooper, Carly, from the movie Star Wars. I don't know if you've seen it. It's quite popular.
Carly.
Are you texting her right now, telling her?
No.
So, all right, I have a question. I have a question for our
You'd be
listeners.
proud of me, Adam. You'd be proud of me.
Hey, you're using it. That's
I'm
awesome.
using it.
That's awesome. No more phone hitting you in the face when you're. So I have a shelf that has my new Rocketeer helmet on it.
Okay.
And next to it, it's an empty space. And I can fill it with one of two things. And I want everybody's opinion. Should I fill it with the Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian helmet?
Yes.
Or hang on, actually, let me pull up the other alternative. Speaking of statues, this made me think of that.
I had to put my NSYNC figures back in there.
Please do, man. You don't want something to happen to those.
Oh, shut your face.
All right, this is a great picture of it right here.
It's not enough for you.
Don't wanna lose,
but I'm not lying.
Did they have the same vocal coach as Britney Spears? Because all of the vowels are like hang, you know. It's gonna be May. All right, here we go. I'm sharing my Chrome tab. So should I fill it with the Black Series Mandalorian or that?
Ooh, that.
I know, right?
Ooh, that.
Dave's like, ooh, I like it a lot.
Although, I think you should go to Disney World and get the Luke X-Wing helmet.
No, what I actually want to do is save a space is when Peavy's, the little frozen Coke stand right next to the Five and Dime next to Keystone Clothiers in Disney's Hollywood Studios, actually it's a Rocketeer theme. There's a jetpack in there. I'm just waiting for that place to close. And I'm going to pull some strings. But that's so what do you think? Mandalorian or that? I need everybody's opinion.
I say the bust. But
so Jeffrey Martin says Mando, and he's the Rocketeer guy.
Yeah.
And then Carly says Mando too, but she doesn't even know what Star Wars is.
Well, Then go look. Her newest dog's name is Leia.
I'm gonna get a Grecian urn to go with my. I'm just picking on you, Carly. All right, so I got 2 Mandos and a Rocketeer, and I say Rocketeer, so it's tied 2-2. Who's gonna be the tiebreaker?
Your mom says that bust is like free. It's $150.
I'm gonna steal it from you if you get the rocket. Oh, son, if you try to steal anything Rocketeer from my house, it's gonna be like Home Alone up in here.
Wow.
It's gonna be like Home Alone, son.
Yep.
Anyway,
All right, guys. Well, I think it's about that time.
Yeah.
Bed
it's only 11 o'clock. This is fantastic.
I know, right? It's Rocketeer, your dad broke the tie.
And my mom too. So yeah.
Well, but they were
So
going to vote
both
whatever,
it is.
they were going to vote whatever you voted anyway.
Both it is.
Hey, okay with me.
Those
Okay.
are true collectibles. So let's do it.
Yeah. Although, hey, you'll be proud. I have some acrylic shelves on my shelf now.
You have acrylic shelves on your shelf?
On my pop figure shelves. They're not as crowded anymore.
I don't understand what that means.
Hold up just a second. I'm going to try something.
Hold up.
Hey. I'm going to try to invite myself to the stream
Ooh,
and show you.
we're going to use technology.
Yes, we are. Can we build it? Yes, we can.
Bob the Builder.
My cell phone number.
You don't know your own cell phone number?
I'm kidding. Let's see if you're going to say it out loud. I was going to really mute you for a second.
555.
999 999. All right. I'm going to have to
555-2368.
Yeah. 800 600 6014.
That's the Ghostbusters phone number, by the way.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
No, that. Oh. All right. So I'm going to mute myself for a second when I join in. Allow. Riveting, y'all. Riveting, I know.
Wow, look at that. Look
All
at that. You've got it.
Hold up.
Hey.
That be thinking we saw.
Just think, everybody. We almost didn't have a show, and now you get to see Dave from 2 angles.
So see, I've got acrylic shelves.
Are you showing me what's tucked into the alcove there?
No.
Oh,
shelves.
I see what you're talking about now. Okay.
And so I can have 21 on one shelf.
Wow, man, that is innovative.
I know, right?
I know Amanda's thrilled.
Look at all the Michael Jordans.
And that's where George is going to go right there on the shelf above that. George Washington.
Oh, yeah. He's going to go there.
Nice.
See? And there's the Braves.
Yep. You took Freddie out of the box. Ooh. Let him breathe, right?
Yeah, I let them all breathe. Slimer.
Nice. Impressive amount of collectibles.
They are great, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Where's Marty and Doc? You're muted.
I showed you Marty there at the end.
No, Marty and Doc.
Oh, I haven't put him up there yet.
For shame.
For shame.
Wow.
They're here.
Okay. It's still in the box, protected. I get it.
Although, take the price tags off next time you send it to somebody.
That wasn't the price anyway. Don't worry.
I was hoping they were. Like, you didn't spend that on me, did you?
Oh, so I got to show you this. I found one of these two. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
You have pictures of strange children behind you. Yes, Kathy, it's a green screen.
I love the bowl with the little yarn balls in it. That's nice, Dave.
Where?
There's a bowl, like when you move to the side, Right there. No,
Oh,
move
yeah.
back. Move back. No, not back. Slide back. Not rotate. There you go. Right there. See the bowl?
Oh yeah. Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And it's also not daytime.
No.
All right. I'm going to show you this last thing. I thought it was funny. It made me laugh because we love coffee, right?
Yes.
There you go.
I love it.
Coffee?
Hey.
Yes. Have some.
Have some. There you go, Kathy. I'm in a different living room now.
Oh, that's nice, Dave. Wow. I love what you've done with the place.
It's so different. You like my
Like
grand
the
piano?
craftsman door? Yeah. Do you play?
Yeah, a little bit.
Wow.
I'm gonna start a fire over here in just a minute.
Yeah, I bet.
Here, let me go over to it.
Dave, what's wrong with you? Why are you a mime all of a sudden?
I'm in a eggshell. How did I get into this eggshell? All right, y'all.
Oh man. All
Earlier,
right.
Curly said I've been drinking. This is just Dave.
It's true.
This is just Dave enjoying life.
Yep.
All right, y'all. Well, we will talk to y'all next week. Thank y'all for joining us. Bye.
Yeah. Bye, everybody.